Hey, you're watching Queen City Comedy, and this is Steven Forrest. From Charlotte, North Carolina, and I got into stand-up because I'm bad at a lot of other things, and most of the time when I'm doing interviews there's fireworks going off in the background, so that's cool that I got that. Yeah, I got into stand-up because I wanted to be a writer, and I wanted to meet funny people and figure out a way to begin writing for funny people. And also I wanted a job that was, you know, pretty easy to get into and that, you know, I could do for a long time, make a lot of money at, be very rich and famous and successful. And I thought the easiest thing for that would probably be stand-up comedy. It's a no-brainer. You just get on TV and then you're done with that. So that's how I got into it. And then now, not exactly what I thought, but still very good and lots of fun, even when you're depressed at night and you're drinking yourself to sleep. So. Touring-wise, what I've done is a lot of things that have been given to me for free, that people feel bad for me, and then I go out and do their shows for very little money, which is great because I make very little money anyway, so it's very comfortable for me just doing that. The Rolling Stones, I got a bunch of stories about them on tour. Kanye always called me up once. It's like, yeah, what would be crazy about a comic like going after me? That'd be crazy. And then we like make fun of white people a lot too. Kind of a young comic, but in the industry they call this, you know, the golden road to success, which is a lot of dates in the Southeast. You know, the big comedy spots, Florida, Alabama, huge comedy place. So a lot of those gigs, but Asheville's very cool. I've gotten hooked up with Funny Business Agency, which is really great. They have a lot of clubs in the Midwest that are cool. And there's good crowds everywhere, honestly. There's really good crowds all over the place if you can find them. And the key is actually being funny. That helps out a lot when you're on stage if you're not like terrible at your job that you're supposed to be doing. So that helps out a lot. But festivals are the best that I've encountered, and audible pauses like and stuff like that is also good for interviews. So I do a lot of those. The road, yeah, it's out there, and you just get on it and you go for shows and stuff. Surprise, we don't fly everywhere. When you're just getting off the open mic circuit, you have to pilot yourself around. And it's cool because I have a Concorde, Chrysler Concorde, which is very slow and very inefficient on gas, which is great. In my very limited experience, I've done very few gigs. I'm not that along in my career of sadness yet, but so far the funniest thing to me was I had a really great gig in Minnesota, and they had like a great hotel room. It's like a 4-star room, very nice accommodations, and the club hooked us up with food and drinks and everything. It was great. That was one of my first experiences with the road, so of course I was like, alright, this is okay, but you know, this is where you start. And then next level, you know, I assume HBO will be calling me tomorrow, and Will Ferrell has to know my name by now, I would think, you know, just because I'm that funny. So the next gig I ended up doing, I stayed in a motel where the door was outside, much like a storage unit would be, right? Yeah. Very similar, in fact, Spartan conditions inside. And the greatest part of this motel was that, you know, a lot of places have accommodations like a pool you can stay in, or they have maybe a workout room, which is cool because comics like to stay fit, because that's the thing we do all the time. Big workout guys. But the greatest part, though, was that this hotel's accommodations were a bottle opener fastened to the sink of the place, as if to say, even if you don't drink, you're going to have to get some good sleep here tonight. And that's actually what I ended up doing. And thank you for this. This is what happens when you do pro gigs like I do. You actually get an envelope with your name on it. There's nothing in the envelope, but you get the envelope. You can mail it to somebody. See, the name is actually, if you'll notice, the name is actually up there already, so the return to sender.
That was fun.
You can already get the return going on. Thanks, man. Every once in a while, somebody will tell you did a good job when you didn't, and that's also fun to get lied to. But yeah, you get an envelope, you can send it to your grandma, you know?
It's got the first line of the return address.
My grandma just died, but I'm not gonna send it to her now. I mean, that would just be weird. But, you know, hey, maybe keep it around. Maybe you'll get another grandma. But probably not, because that's not even a thing. Yes, touring though is fun, and I have very little cool stories about it, but sometimes you get put up in a nice $20 motel room where there's a bottle opener and a noose already hanging up there for you, so you can, if you choose to, I mean, it's just there. So, tour stories.